Hey friends, welcome. So a fellow believer dared me to do a video. I'm not sure why, but I'm going to do it because they said, Doug, I dare you to do Paul, 2 Corinthians chapter 8, verse 14, which discusses sharing in heaven. I'm not sure why they dared me to do it, but you know what? I'm always up for a challenge. There is a beautiful message here to be shared with between more than just me and this person. I think we're all going to get something out of this. You ready? 2 Corinthians chapter 8, verse 14, where it discusses sharing in heaven. Now, imagine a place where no one is left wanting, where abundance is not measured by individual wealth, but by collective contentment. Picture a society where everyone has what they need because everyone freely shares. This is the picture Paul paints in 2 Corinthians chapter 8, verse 14, when he writes, "At the present time, your surplus will supply what they need, so that in turn, their surplus will supply what you need. The goal is equality." Now, this verse offers us a glimpse into heaven's perfect design of sharing, a design rooted in love, balance, and trust. Today, let's explore how sharing works in heaven and how we can embody these principles in our daily lives. Sharing in heaven is about equality, not uniformity. So, Paul speaks of equality, not in the sense of making everyone identical, but ensuring that everyone's needs are met. In heaven, there's no competition over resources because abundance is distributed according to God's perfect balance. And imagine a world where surplus isn't hoarded but joyfully given to those who lack. I'll give you an example. One person might have an abundance of knowledge while another practical skills. And by sharing their strengths, they build a harmonious community. Now, this heavenly equality celebrates diversity, recognizing that everyone has something unique to offer. And consider this example. Think of a food pantry. Those who have extra food contribute, and those who are hungry receive. But no one keeps score, because the act of giving creates a cycle of blessings. In heaven, this cycle is endless, and everyone participates with a grateful heart. Sharing reflects God's character. So, at the core of heaven's sharing is the character of God himself. He is the ultimate giver, providing us with life, love, and salvation. When we share, we mirror his nature and align ourselves with his divine plan. Think of it this way. God gave us Jesus not out of obligation, but out of pure love. Similarly, sharing in heaven is not transactional, but relational. It's about giving because we love, not because we expect anything in return. And think of the sun shining on all, regardless of who is worthy. Our sharing should be exactly like that, an act of generosity that reflects God's unconditional love. Sharing fosters unity and eliminates divisions. In a world filled with barriers, whether economic, social, or cultural, sharing becomes a bridge that connects us. In heaven, there are no divides because sharing fosters unity and mutual dependence. So consider this. Paul's vision of equality isn't just about meeting physical needs. It's about creating a sense of belonging. When we share, we acknowledge that we are part of something greater, a divine family. And This unity eliminates jealousy, pride, and competition. So consider this example. Let me give you an example here. Picture a group of people building a house together. Some bring bricks, others bring tools, and some provide labor. Each person contributes differently, but the result is a sturdy home that everyone can enjoy. Sharing works this way in heaven. It's not about the individual effort, but collective achievement. And sharing is a spiritual investment. When we share, we're not just addressing temporary needs. We're participating in an eternal process. And every act of giving stores treasures in heaven, where they hold lasting value. So think of it this way. In God's economy, the returns on generosity are immeasurable. When we share, we invest in relationships, faith, and love, all of which have eternal significance. And sharing is not about losing what we have, but planting seeds that will grow into a harvest of blessings. So consider it this way. Think of a farmer planting seeds. Each seed represents an act of sharing. The harvest may not come immediately, but in time, it multiplies and feeds many. Heaven operates on this principle of exponential blessings. Sharing starts with a willing heart. And Paul reminds us that sharing is not about the size of the gift, but the willingness of the giver. And in heaven, giving is driven by joy, not obligation. So consider this. In the story of the widow's offering, Jesus praised her for giving out of her poverty because her heart was pure. This is the essence of heavenly sharing. What matters is not the material value, but the love and faith behind the act. I'll give you an example. Think of a child sharing their lunch with a friend. They don't think about what they'll eat later. They give because they care. And in heaven, every act of sharing is motivated by this kind of selfless love. It's beautiful. So, as we conclude, let's consider how this heavenly principle of sharing can transform our lives and communities. Heaven is not merely a future destination, but a reality we can begin to reflect here and now. When we share, we bring a piece of heaven to earth. So take this challenge with you. Look at what you have, whether it's time, talent, or treasure, and ask, how can this meet someone else's need? And remember, sharing is not about losing. It's about creating a divine balance where no one is left out. So let's leave here inspired to live with open hands and open hearts. Because in God's kingdom, what we give away doesn't just fill another's need. It transforms both the giver and the receiver. And by sharing, we align ourselves with heaven's perfect design and participate in God's eternal plan of love. Amen. Now, before we leave, I would like to offer a prayer for the intentions and hopes that you currently hold in your heart. You ready? I'll lead. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Amen. And thank you for this challenge. This was a beautiful message. I love it. Thank you so much for sharing with me, my friend. And thank you for joining us. I really appreciate it. Don't forget, hug your family. They love you. I can't wait until I get to see you next time, where we'll share more information and knowledge from the one who has all the knowledge and information we'll ever need to live a beautiful life. Take care, my friends. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.